Hi, my name is John Finnegan with Office Smith LLC, a managed service provider or IT company in the greater Phoenix area, serving companies with between 5 and 100 devices on their network. Today, we'd like to share with you 4 free resources you can give your employees to help keep your company more secure. And I guarantee you, if they use it, that it'll be your most valuable layer of security yet. Why do we care? Well, 60% of American businesses have had a major security breach in the last 2 years alone. And because of that, in the last year alone, 65% of American households have had their personal data scattered on the net. Well, let's get to it. The first item that we're going to talk about is passwords. And the first resource is specifically related to that. It is howsecureismypassword.net. So password security has changed quite a bit recently. The U.S. government agency in charge of password or cybersecurity called the NIST has recommended that we not change passwords on a regular basis anymore. They found that we were actually using sequential numbering. People were posting the password that they can't remember on a post-it on their monitor, and they found it's actually detrimental to force users to change their password on a regular basis. So that's no longer recommended. Harvard did a study. They found that the only correlation between the security provided by your password and the password itself was in the length of the password. So we're going to take a look at this tool and we're going to evaluate a couple of passwords really quickly. So the first password we're going to evaluate is a standard 8-character password that has been touted as secure for many years. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, ABC, and then we're going to enter a capital D and a symbol. And we can see that 9 hours is how long it would take to brute force that password. Be aware that since this website came out, the last time I checked, it was actually twice as long as it would currently take. So in actual fact, this would take 4.5 hours to crack, brute force that password. And I think most employees, knowing that, don't want their credentials that available. And so if you can get them here to actually play with this, you'll see that most of them are going to choose something that's more secure. So let's go ahead and use a passphrase. Now, passphrase is something that I think is going to be much better for you in security. So we're going to go, all right, we're going to choose green, Obo, 1983, and a symbol. Okay, so green Obo 1983 and a symbol. That is very easy to remember. I'm going to be able to remember that easily. And this says it's going to take approximately 102 million years after you adjust for technology advances. And because technology is always advancing, you want something that's kind of out there, in my opinion. So that's an example of how to use this tool, why you should be using this tool. If you think that your password has probably been compromised, I'd recommend you check out this other resource, which is not one of the 4 resources, but I'd like to show it to you anyways. It is Have I Been Pwned? And what that is, that's elite speak for has someone hacked my email address? And so what we're going to do is we're going to check 2. I'm going to check info@officesmithllc.com. This is a basic one for us. And you can see no one has managed to breach that. It's not been involved in any data breaches. That's great. Let's go ahead and choose one that has been. Okay. And there we go. abc@hotmail.com. It's not my email address. I just used it because I figured it had been breached. And it has been. It's been involved in 162 breach sites, 214 hacker posts. And that's only the unsensitive breaches. So there's probably more there if we were to look. And if you go ahead and look in here, you can see when they were breached and what exactly the information was. The next resource that we're going to show you is more likely to be used by your home users or your IT than the end user themselves, but the training itself will help them understand how things work a little bit better. So this is trace email at whatismyipaddress.com, and what it does is it takes the internet headers from emails that are malicious and it tells you who actually sent them. So you can either block the sender themselves or the IP address or the IP address range, whatever makes sense from an IT perspective. Let's take a look at a malicious email really quick. So here's a malicious email that was sent to one of my clients. And because I don't want anybody to get upset, I've blurred out things over here, but I'd like you to note that we have and you should have a rule that appends something for anything called a display name attack. And a display name attack is when somebody in your organization, their name is used, but their email address isn't. So from outside of your company. So most major places now are going to have this set up, and we set it up for all of our clients. So if your user is paying attention, they see that right out of the blocks, they know that something's a little off. Anyways, for purposes of this, I've created this. So Mr. Bossman, let's say, is the boss, and you can see here I've created this sanitized Gmail address that sent it. And so this part here can be changed to be absolutely anything. Microsoft Tech Support, Aquaman, Captain America, whatever. So anything that's there that doesn't match up with the actual email address in the brackets used to send it, those should be sending off alarm bells. So Mr. Bossman is not sending you email from laura@gmail.com, and neither is Microsoft. So we know that this is bogus. We need to get this in the tool and check it out. So if you were not an IT person, what you would do is you would forward this email and paste your internet headers in the forwarded email to your IT person, and that would allow them to block it, so it isn't a problem for anyone else who's less on top of things. So we're gonna. This is an example in Outlook 2016, but all clients have a way to get to the internet headers, even the web stuff. So here's how you do it in Office Outlook 2016. Click on File, click on Properties, and then in Internet Headers, I just click in the box here. Then I press Control, Shift, and End, and then I just press Control C. And what that does is that's selected everything with the Control, Shift, End, and Control C is going to copy it. Then we're going to go to our tool over here, and we're going to paste it in there, or we would paste it in there if we were trying to analyze that one. But we're just going to use this example one because it gives a better view than the Gmail address. So here we go. We're going to click Find the Email Sender. We're going to scroll down here. We're going to see the analysis. And up in here, it's going to grind out all these things, and it's going to highlight the ones that your IT guy might be interested in, and then it's going to show you the IP address that actually sent it to you. This next resource is a great resource given to us by Google, VirusTotal.com, and it's owned by Google, and it's used for scanning links, attachments, websites, and doing basic research. So let's go ahead and get started. So if you had an email and you want to scan the attachment with it, you just drag it over here and drop it on here when you're on the File tab. It'll scan it. You can see in this case it came back clean. You can also get additional details about the file as well as any community votes. Let's take a look at a couple of URLs or websites, in this case, domains. So I'm going to click on URL. I'm going to put in our domain. You can see it's been scanned by all the 66 of these engines. They all came back clean. Nothing really exciting there for us. Let's go ahead and check a misspelled. Often, if you're going to get attacked by a link, it's going to be through a misspelling or something that they're trying to catch people who aren't carefully looking. And so I would always encourage you to avoid using links and emails that are sent to you if possible. Instead, go to that same website the way you'd normally go to it. But if you do have to use the link, hover over the hyperlink to get the URL, and then come here at VirusTotal, paste it in, and check it out. Let's see here. And here we can see this misspelled google.com has some flags on it. We've got some additional details here and some community votes. People don't like that one. All right, so then we're going to go to VirusTotal here, and we're actually going to do research on that same bad one. So this is a little bit different. It's going to give us the information in a slightly different way. It's going to give us a history of the IP addresses that have been serving up that URL, as well as who is lookup, who has it now, subdomains that they might also be using to try and get people, and the summary of the URL. So just 3 out of 66. The last resource that we're going to share with you tonight is how to report a tech support scam to Microsoft. If you aren't getting bombarded on email, chances are you're at least getting the pop-up messages on your internet browser. Call such and such number because your computer's got a problem. Tech support scam. Don't do it. Just reboot your computer and keep on going. Probably avoid the site. And if that's not happening, maybe you're getting a call on the phone. Hi, this is Microsoft. There's a big problem with your computer. We need to remote in. No, lies. Microsoft is not going to contact you first. Microsoft only contacts people who reach out and have already opened a support ticket with them. So these people are tech support scammers. They need to be reported so that they can be stopped. They're hammering people who are susceptible, people who are not technically savvy, and causing people problems. So let me show you how to do that. So you go to Microsoft.com, you click on the support link, you scroll down to the bottom, you click on Report a Support Scam, and this great form pops up. You fill it in, you press Submit after filling out the CAPTCHA, and launch it off to Microsoft, who is going to, I'm sure, sic their legal department on it and may do their best to try and prevent that person from doing that to anyone ever again. So those are the 4 resources we have for you. HowSecureIsMyPassword.net. Are you going to be, how strong is your password? Trying to ensure password security. Whatismyipaddress.com with the trace email, how to get your internet headers, how to avoid display attacks. VirusTotal, how to check stuff that you're kind of suspicious on. Scan that attachment, scan the URL on that link, do a little bit of due diligence on that sketchy email before you open it. It could save you a world of hurt. And finally, how to report the tech support scammers that are calling people all over the place. So those are the 4 things that are the free resources. I wanted to make this, the first version of this video was over 30 minutes long, and I considered it bare bones. I really have a lot more to share with you, and I want to share with you breaking security news all the time. If you can just subscribe down below, I can add you to our newsletter. We can get you receiving these security updates on a weekly basis. We've been doing it for a while now, and we really are finding that people are enjoying that and being aware of what's going on out there. We've created a mousepad that has the resources on it from this training, so it can keep it top of mind, so when you do need them, they're there ready and waiting for you. And information on how to get those is down below as well. If you do have a question, I would love to help and answer the question. Add a comment down below and let us know what you would like us to delve into.